ViewBotting. What is ViewBotting and how does it affect content creators? I literally just finished watching a video that one of my friends, Contents Universe, released about ViewBotting, and I have to disagree with a lot of what was said in that video. If you get a chance, go check him out though. It's Contents Universe on YouTube. With that being said, his argument was that ViewBotting doesn't affect small content creators. He said that he thinks that small content creators shouldn't care about ViewBotting because they're not even in the game. They're just starting. It doesn't affect you. It only affects larger content creators. And he said that since the beginning of time, people have always faked it till they made it. Played the game of faking it till they make it. And I watched the video, but I have to disagree. ViewBotting is a scourge on live streaming, on content creation in general. You know, he said in the video that a lot of the people that complain about ViewBotting complain because they're afraid of market share loss. But I have to disagree with that too. I've never said that I'm worried about market share loss. You know, YouTube has like 2-3 billion people on it. If somebody's ViewBotting, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're even really getting the views. If there's another guy in my niche who has 1 million people watching his stream, there's still plenty of millions of other people that will watch mine. On YouTube, we're not fighting for market share. The only people fighting for market share are the top echelon of content creators, the Mr. Beasts of this platform. A small guy like me, there's plenty of viewers to go around for small content creators. That's not my problem with ViewBotting. My problem with ViewBotting is it messes up the economy of streaming. It messes up the economy of content creation. It takes away the incentive that advertisers have to invest in content creators, because if I'm an advertiser and I'm trying to push a product and I push the product to a stream that has no real viewers, it's just viewbots, viewbots are not going to buy my product. And if that happens enough times, I'm not going to be incentivized to invest in content creators at all. Why would I? Why would I sponsor somebody if I don't know if their views are real or not? That's my problem with ViewBotting. I already said it in my live stream today when I reacted to his video, but I'll say it again in this video. My problem with ViewBotting is two things. The first thing is that it brings an element of inauthenticity to the content creation, streaming ecosystem. And my second thing is that it messes up the ad revenue, right? And the ad revenue thing honestly has more of an impact than the inauthenticity, because there's always been fake content creators that are inauthentic on this platform, right? There's always been people who pretend to be something they're not in order to get views. That's a personal problem of mine, right? Me being against that is personal. But when it comes to the ad revenue aspect of this ViewBotting, it does affect all content creators, including small content creators. Because what happens if there's an adpocalypse? What happens if the platforms decide to lower the rates? They're not going to lower it just for the people ViewBotting. They're lowering it for everyone. So it does affect us small content creators. That's why I'm against ViewBotting, you know? Everybody wants to be a content creator. Everybody wants to take a shortcut, but they don't realize that that shortcut is ruining it for everyone else, including themselves, you know? And I think that ViewBotting creates a system where everybody is racing to the top. I'm ViewBotting 1,000 viewers. Somebody sees me ViewBotting 1,000. They say, you know what? I got to beat this guy. So let me ViewBot 5,000. Somebody sees him. Oh, he has 5,000. Let me ViewBot 10,000. It's a race to the top, and it's pay to play. Whoever has the most money to invest in bots is the person who wins. But at the end of the day, nobody wins because you've ruined the entire ecosystem. You know, you've taken away the element of authenticity. Sorry. You've taken away the element of authenticity that we all searched for when we came to these platforms, and you've replaced it with greed and fraud. Greed and fraud. That's what you really did. Because when you really think about it, viewbotting isn't faking it till you make it. Viewbotting is literal fraud. You're inflating your numbers in order to get attention, in order to attract sponsors that pay you for advertising revenue, that pay you for advertising their products. And all of that is based on a lie. And there's only a matter of time before there's a crackdown, right? Only a matter of time before there's a crackdown. So that's why I have such a problem with ViewBots. I really don't care about market share or how many views they actually have. You know, honestly, on a platform like YouTube, the amount of views they have if you're viewbotting doesn't affect me at all. The only place I can see somebody viewbotting affecting you as far as views are concerned is on a platform like Twitch or Kick. Because on Twitch and on Kick, they don't have an algorithm that's searching for the content that you're looking for. It's literally just a list of streamers, and whoever's at the very top on that first page, those people will be getting new viewers, or they have the opportunity to get new viewers. And if you were not on the first page, then you're not. So people are going to viewbot to get to the first page. But then again, you're silly. You're silly if you're on Twitch and you're on Kick and you're expecting to get viewers anyway, right? If you're trying to attract new viewers by posting on those platforms, you're silly, because those platforms don't work like that. You're never going to get new viewers on Twitch unless you're on the first page. Never. So you're wasting your time either way. That's why I said the viewbotting doesn't matter in that sense. As far as the actual views are concerned, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the impact it has on advertising. And I feel like Content's Universe kind of missed the point there. He missed the mark with that argument. I don't know who he had spoke with that said they were worried about market share, because I personally am not. You know, I'm primarily a YouTube content creator who happens to live stream, and there are millions of people on YouTube. I have an infinite source of people that could possibly watch my streams. I'm not worried about somebody viewbotting. I'm only worried about ads being pulled from my stream because people abuse the system. Because that's what it comes down to, right? It comes down to abuse. It comes down to the fact that we can't have nice things because other people take advantage of them, right? Content creation was a way for people to make additional income just being themselves on the internet. And somehow they've twisted it, they've morphed it into this greed machine where people do whatever it takes to go viral, whatever it takes to jump the line. And it's created a system where you're incentivized to cheat. Because when you really think about it, that's what viewbotting is. It's cheating. It's cheating. But you can only cheat so long before the authorities crack down, right? And what happens when there's a crackdown? Little tiny channels, people who are trying to start their journey in the content creation space, they're not going to be the exception to the rule. YouTube, Twitch, Kick, they're not going to say, oh, you know what? Let's limit the amount of ads that are ran on each person's stream. But these small content creators will leave them alone. No, that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is that the bigger content creators are going to get a giant drop in ad revenue. Boop. And the smaller content creators that were now presently getting ad revenue, that will be wiped away and they'll get nothing. They'll be eliminated from the game. Why? Because of greed. Because the top guys wanted to cheat. So it doesn't come down to whether they're getting more views or not. Because I know that if Kai Cenat has 200,000 people watching his stream, that doesn't affect me whatsoever. It doesn't affect my stream whatsoever. It doesn't affect my numbers whatsoever. But if Kai Cenat has 200,000 bots on his stream and a giant company's paying him for advertising and they get no return, that's going to leave a sour taste in their mouth and they're not going to want to advertise with anyone. And enough companies start doing that, the platforms are going to have to take action and it's going to affect everyone on the platform. So the problem that I have with viewbotting is economic. It's economic. Now, we can go down the path of the moral implications of viewbotting. Morally, I think it's fraud. I think it's inauthentic. I think that if your favorite content creator is one of the people that's viewbotting, they're fake. They're frauds. You shouldn't give them your view at all. You shouldn't. But that's just me. You know, I'm a very authentic person. I try to be myself. I told my girlfriend that I'm going to be making these YouTube videos off the cuff, just being myself, telling you guys what I think about different topics. I'm not scripting this. I'm talking off the cuff. I'm not editing the video at all. I'm pretending like this is a live stream, essentially. Just talking into the ether, letting the wind carry my voice to whatever seagulls are listening, right? Something right out of the book of Moist Critical, I would say. Random jibber jabble, you know, just making shit up as I go. But yeah, if you're one of these little kids and you want to watch somebody who's viewbotting, that's on you. But maybe you're on the platform looking for something that is different from what I'm looking for. I came to YouTube, I came to the streaming world for authenticity, right? I came to see real people doing real stuff in their real life, being themselves. Now, if you want to go watch a guy who's fake, who fake reacts, fake scripts his videos, has fake viewers, go ahead. Have at it. That speaks more about you than me. It speaks more about the content creator than me, right? I've said it a bunch of times, and I'll say it again. I will never fake anything on my channel. But that's beyond the point, right? My point of making this video here was to just clarify things, clarify the reasons why I'm against viewbotting. And I think that if you are a content creator on Twitch and Kick, primarily, those are the places where viewbotting really, really does run rampant. But even on YouTube, if you're a content creator, you should also be against it because it puts your whole career at risk. If you're a big content creator that makes hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, you should be worried. You should be worried. How many times do we need to go through this cycle of adpocalypse before people start to realize, like, okay, we can't abuse the system? They give us these tools so we can make some money for ourselves. Some of us even got so lucky as to get famous, have real power in the real world. We need to value these things and not go too far, not abuse the system. But it's like people don't care, right? Especially the newer content creators. They see the old school content creators who started out authentic, most of them, and they see how much money they make and they say, you know what? I got to get to that level no matter what the cost. And they're willing to sell their souls. They're willing to become a fake person and do something that they're not passionate about just to blow up at any cost. But what does it matter if you blow up and you become one of those top echelon streamers using ViewBots, and then the platform says, you know what? We're not paying out ads anymore. Now you've made it to the top, and for what reason? What is the purpose of making it if you're not going to make any revenue from it at all anyway? If you ruined it, you've destroyed the ecosystem. Now, I might be yapping, man. I might be talking out of my ass here, chat. Your boy Scott might not have eaten his cereal this morning, and I might be delusional. The brain worms might have got into me. So you got to let me know in the comments if you agree or not. Do you think that viewbotting is bad for the platforms and the economy of streaming? Or do you think that it doesn't really matter? You let me know in the comments, man, because I'm convinced. I'm low-key paranoid, schizophrenic on this topic. I'm convinced that viewbotting is destroying streaming. You know, it's destroying streaming. And it's a sad thing because we had an avenue to make revenue. We had an avenue to make revenue, and you guys are shutting it down by abusing it. Anyways, I just had to get that off my chest. Subscribe, turn on notifications. I stream every single day, usually around 6:30 Eastern Standard. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.